Hello. All right. Hi, guys. All right. So I'm going to be doing side stories again today. It's going to be a shorter stream just because I started later than I initially planned and I have to be up in like 6 hours. So I don't have the time to stay up very, very late. But my one goal is to finish like at least this page I'm currently on. So that would be three at least side stories, and then if they happen to be short, because a couple of them have been short lately, we'll go a little further. And then my sound is so high. Does this actually affect the sound though? No, because if I turn it all the way down, okay, sorry. I haven't figured out the issue yet, because I'm good. But I did get Hello Kitty, just so you know. This will be a game me and my sister's gonna be playing at some point. And then when I went to go pick it up, I forgot I pre-ordered this. Wow. So I have Despera drops too, so this is not something I'm planning on playing soon, but I own it. So it's here now. So it's like 3 more games I need to add to my list of to-be plays. All in the last like 2 weeks. I'm trucking along. I'm giving myself a lot of things. And then on Saturday, I'm gonna have an 8-hour stream. I'm probably gonna start it kind of early. I will share it in the Discord tomorrow, the exact time I plan on starting, because I have to double check with my sister on what her plans are. I know she has some plans Saturday, and I want to make sure that I start before her plans start. That way I can maybe end when her plans end, and if we want to go do something, we can still do something on our day off that we both have together. So a mother's answer. So this is... So these are the alternate endings to, or additional endings to bad endings. Like what happened after this went wrong. But it's like the bad ending that you got. If you got the bad ending in the bad ending. Does that make sense? It's so confusing. All right. Even if I admired you as God, with my heart growing and maturing, so long as that heart resided in a weak body, it would easily be weeded out from this world. It's a Sheen, right? God's usually Sheen. Oh, wait. All right. Hear me out. This is the bad ending of the bad ending, where if they came, they killed Adolphe, they killed all of the kids in the orphanage, including little girl D, me, and my mom, and a few other people went into hiding in this little structure, and our mom kills us because she says it'll make Sheen want to seek revenge. Oh my gosh, that's all happened in this ending. So I assume this starts after we're murdered. The orphanage Leah and her family resided in was attacked by the royal family. A few days had passed. Adolphe and the children were killed. To ensure their deaths wouldn't be in vain, a plan was underway at Sheen's guidance to take back the Institute. However...
彼女、遅いね。
Is that loud? Is that too loud? I don't even know. Because, like, it's barely peaking. There is something in my settings. I need to... Oh, I'm scared. If it freezes, it's because I'm white cooking on the thing. It's okay. Everything's okay. No, there's no settings here. That's crazy. All right, well, I tried. Leah sure is late. She's dead. Leah, who went out to check on Salome, still hadn't returned.
シスターと話し合ってるんじゃねえか。あの人は最後まで王族を皆殺しにすべきだって主張してたからな。
Maybe she and the sister are still talking. She was going off about murdering every last member of the royal family, after all. As Eves and Hugo spoke amongst themselves, Sheen suddenly stood up from the bed as he was sitting on.
シアンさん、
どこへ？
Where are you going, Sheen?
外だ。
Out.
は、外って追われてる最中だってのに、一体何のために？
Out? We're the target of a manhunt. What are you going out for? Ignoring Hugo's question, Sheen continued outside as blood seeped out of his wounds. Yves and Hugo exchanged quizzical looks before following after him. I don't think her plan's working. As soon as they stepped outside, they gasped at the sight of red spread out before them. If their eyes weren't deceiving them, there was Leah, collapsed on the ground in the middle of a red pool of blood. Leah. In contrast to them, Sheen calmly walked
死ん
towards
で
her.
るな。
She's dead. After checking she wasn't breathing, he then looked over the wounds across her back. There were several stab wounds, but the deepest one was at the center of the rest.
まさか王族の連中に？
Did the royal family do
きっ
this?
とシスターサロメも。
I'm sure Sister Salome must also be.
あいつの姿がない。
He's not here?
なるほど。これは確かに王族の仕業で間違いないだろうな。
She? Does it mean to say she? I see. That's this. Did he say she? He's not here. This definitely was the work of the royal family. Sheen muttered to himself that he wasn't foolish enough to be tricked by these additional wounds. The lethal depth and angle, she couldn't have been stabbed this way unless she was being embraced. In other words, this crime couldn't have been done by anyone other than someone she felt close enough to allow to embrace her.
だがまあ、騙されたことにしておいてやろ
I'm sure she was tricked. It wasn't wise to mention the name of the culprit and cause even more confusion considering the
う。ほん
situation.
の少しの特別を失ったが、俺がすべきことは変わらない。逆に。
To remind myself that, you know, he didn't fall in love with her at first. He didn't want to admit it. I suppose I lost something I thought was a little special, but what I must do hasn't
あい
changed.
つの犠牲を無駄にしないためにも、必ず新しいリライバーを完成させる。
In order to make sure her sacrifice isn't in vain, I need to make sure I complete development of the new relivers. However, puzzle. That's right. I want to see that puzzle completed, so I'd like to stay here until the puzzle's done. Remember berries?
結局パズルはあいつの前で完成しなかったな。
In the end, I wasn't able to finish that puzzle for her. Classy. That thought was the one thing that stuck in his heart like a thorn. Yeah, okay, but here's the thing, and I keep remembering this. There was a part where they were like, Barreau's gonna kill all you people. And so he made everybody like get tested, not tested, but get like the thing done so they could become relivers. She should have a backup. I don't understand. The sky over Arpachel was beautiful today as well. The house they lived in was surrounded by a calmness so serene and symbolized peace itself.
こんなもんか。新しい野菜を育てるのにも慣れてきたもんだ。
I forgot Adolph's alternate ending. I guess that should do it. I've gotten used to growing these new vegetables now.
さすがに毎日同じ野菜じゃ、あいつも飽きちまうだろうしな。
I'm sure Leah would get tired of having the same ones day after day too. He harvested the vegetables he grew himself and put them in a basket. After washing the vegetables to use for the day,
戻ったぞ。
I'm back!
遅い。野菜を収穫するのにどれだけ時間をかけているんだ。
You're late. How long does it take to pick some vegetables?
姫君も私たちが作る朝食を待ちわびているというのに。
The princess has been waiting for you to make her breakfast.
力仕事ができないお前に言われたくない。野菜の皮を剥くから手伝え。その無駄に長い袖はまくれよ。
Interesting. Usually when it's like that, it doesn't let it post. Weird. So says the guy who can't do any heavy lifting. Help me peel these and roll up those uselessly long sleeves. Replying with a disgruntled look on his face, Anku stood next to Adolf as they both began peeling vegetables.
まさかこの私が君と並んで料理をする時が来るとはね。
He's like, I'm beside myself with grief right now. I never thought the day would come when I'd be standing here beside you to do some cooking.
不服ならいつでも出て行っていいんだぞ、居候。
If you don't like it, you can leave, freeloader. While tossing back snide remarks, Adolf quickly moved on to cooking. Today's breakfast was a vegetable soup for easy digestion along with a simple egg dish. After chopping the vegetables into suitable sizes, they were slowly boiled so they would be easy to consume.
君の腕も上がったものだね。姫君ほどではないが、まあ見れたものだ。
You haven't gotten much better at this. This is not as good as the princesses, but not bad.
そういうお前もな。死の番人のくせに妙に初対じみてきやがって。
Probably shouldn't be opening a drink at this late, but I could say the same to you. For the Watchmen of Death, you're pretty used to domestic life.
人間である君たちに生活を合わせているだけさ。
I'm simply adjusting to the lifestyle of you humans. After seeing that the cooking was nearly done, Anku swiftly set up the table for three just like he always did. After a short moment, Adolf brought out their finished breakfast. It was still far from what Leah or Salome could make, but it was in fact better than what he could make before.
こんなもんか。
That should do it.
では姫君を起こして共に朝食にするとしよう。
Let me go fetch the princess so we can all eat together. What? With that, they both turned around to the bed beside them. There lay a corpse, its body covered in red. It wasn't technically a corpse.
なんだ。そんなに俺たちが作った料理を早く食べたいのか。
Got it. So the Lycoris has bloomed on her. He's an outsider, so he's immune. What is it, Leah? Are you that eager to eat the food we made? Dude, is she dying? This girl's dying. As an effect of her transformed genes caused by the evil doings of the Mad King Tahat, Lycoris sprout all across Leah's body, which was enduring excruciating pain even now. Nice.
俺たちが懸命に看病していれば、お前はこのままの状態で生き続けることができるらしい。
According to him, it looks like we can keep you alive in this state as long as we take care of
私も
you.
冥界には戻らず、ずっとここで君のことを死ぬまで守り続けよう。
I will not return to Hades. I will stay here forever to watch over you until death. Crying out what they promised, they struggled to keep Leah alive thus far. Girls dying, girls in pain. Not only could Leah no longer move, it wasn't possible for her to even open her eyes. Anku would gently hold her, using himself as support for her to lean against.
さあ、私が手ずから食べさせてあげよう。
I shall personally feed you, dear princess. They're all loose in their mind.
食事は必要不可欠だからね。
In order to keep you alive in your state, you must have your food. Please stop. Leah's body shook in response to Anku's terrifyingly gentle voice. This time, as if now taking his turn, Adolf embraced Leah from in the front of her so that he could continue to shake. As she continued to shake. Got it. Leah had pleaded so many times to the two of them who forced her to stay alive. Ah. Kill me, she would say. And every time they would both say in unison,
断る
no. They would speak as if it were an obvious truth, as an answer in that manner every time Leah begged for
終焉の
death.
先になど絶対に逃がさないよ
We won't dare let you go into the afterlife, my princess.
二度とそんなことが言えないように
So that you'll never say that again. Why is he blushing? Gonna cut out her tongue? What's happening?
お前が泣いて喜ぶほど今日は甘やかしてやるからな
Will pamper you so much again today that you will cry tears of joy. Those were the words they spoke as she pleaded for her end. All right. I didn't like it. So my new job keeps using laptops and I keep trying to use, so I have a little armrest here. I keep pretending like it has like a tracker on it. Oh my gosh. That was not good. I didn't like that. Nobody liked that. So interesting.
だから悪いけど、
Oh no.
どうしてとはっきり答えることはできない。単純な話、俺の思いつきだから。
I'm sorry, but I don't have a clear-cut answer to your question. You just sort of popped up, I
け
guess.
ど、考え直したところで、
Which part is this?
多分結
The
果は
side
変わらないと思
stories can be a little confusing because then you have to remember where it follows into what universe and what route. Because Virche had so many different like methods and ways it could turn. So it's a little confusing. That said, even if I did put a lot of thought behind who to ask, the results probably wouldn't have changed.
う。俺は君がいい。君に助けてほしいんだ。
I want you to help me, simple as that. Some time had passed since I began helping out at Korun as Eve's request. Alright. It's such nice weather out today. After getting some requests done for today, I headed back to Korun. I was with Eves earlier, but he was called to the corpse for an urgent matter and headed to the base.
ごめんね。今日もたくさん手伝ってくれたのに、一人で返すことになっちゃって。
Sorry, Leah. To make you go back alone after you helped so
よかった
much.
ら、施設に帰る前に、俺の家でゆっくりしてって。
If you'd like, take it easy at my place before you head back to the orphanage. No. He apologized before he left, but I know Eves is busy too, so I'm sure he's tired as well. After thinking for a moment, I made a decision. I'll buy some snacks or something at the marché before going back. I want to have something ready to enjoy with Eves when he gets back. Hey Puffer. I headed back to Korun after visiting the marché. I put away the snacks I bought and picked out some tea to prepare. After playing with Puffy, I ran out of things to do. So there are all the requests from this year, and these here are from last year. I decided to look over the requests that everyone in Korun had received. As I worked as just another member of the Korun,
ああ、ここには今までに俺たちが受けた依頼の記録が全部残してあるんだよ。
this is where we keep records of all requests we've ever received from clients until now.
リライバーとして延命した人が、前回と同じ依頼をすることも珍しくはないからね。
This is important because some of our Reliver clients sometimes ask us to do the same work they asked for before.
参考資料としていつでも読み返せるように、こうして細かく記録を記してるんだ。
Which is why I have every bit of information I can record in these books so that I can go back to them when needed.
俺みたいな素人がまとめた資料でよければ、好きな時に読んでみて。
I'd be glad if you could look through them too, if you don't mind my
ブ
sloppy
ローの
writing.
ことがわからなくても、 クルーンの仕事を把握するのにちょうどいい資料になると思うから。
Even if there aren't any leads to Barreau, the information should help you understand the work here at Korun. With Eve's permission, I used the free time I had to read through these documents in order to find any information of Barreau. My goal today is to read through at least one stack of these. Adolph and his team are working hard in their own investigations. I have to help somehow too. I sat down in a chair and looked through the documents. Just as I heard from Eves and the others, the documents listed all the details of the request Korun had received. The date and time the requests were received, what they asked for, what sort of person the requester was, as well as their appearance. Along with studying the contents of the request so I could help out with the work here, I was carefully looking over the requesters' names and appearances as well. I haven't found anyone that seems like they might be him, or maybe anyone working with him. Oh.
司祭は語れないが、この国にはまだまだ死を招
It's time
く
to
花の種子が
cut
芽
my
吹いている。
bangs. I'm just being so lazy. I can't go into detail, but there is still a seed of the budding flower that will bring more death to
この
this
短
land.
い間に君が歩んだ奇跡は、所詮序章に過ぎないのさ。
This was a dramatic part in the original game because this was like, haha, get it? It's the prologue.
何一つ。
Considering Anku's warning, I couldn't let my guard down. This person's figure seems close to Barreau's. He's 22 now. Considering the typical progression of the curse, he wouldn't be able to move like Barreau did. This person seems to be strong and at an age where he's still very fit. It even seems like he's familiar with martial arts, but his figure is completely different. His arms are like thick logs. And Barreau is a slender, stick-like man. A few hours passed as I reviewed the documents as I was focused in looking through their contents.
ただいま。遅くなっちゃってごめんね。
I'm back, Leah. Sorry I'm late. Oh, Eves, welcome back. As I hurried over to him, I saw he held his corpse uniform in his hand and assumed it might have been dirtied a bit. Do you have any problem with the corpse?
大丈夫。事件が起きたわけじゃなかったから、そこは安心して。
It's fine. It's not like there was an incident or anything. Don't worry.
ただ、詰め所に繋いでおいた自警団の馬が一頭逃げ出しちゃってさ。
It's just one of the corpse horses we had tied up at the base got away. Eves continued to explain how he was sent out to capture it. That might not have been an incident in particular, but it must have been a big
そ
deal,
うなん
right?
だよ。こっちは必死になって街中を追いかけたっていうのに。
I was running after it like crazy through town.
最終的にはとある民家の畑に入って美味しそうにもりもり人参を食べてたんだから。
It's late, yo. And in the end, it just stopped in someone's field and it was happily munching on some carrots. Oh my.
畑の所有者にはちゃんとお金を払って謝ったけど、連れ帰りに来たアドルフも呆れてたよ。
We paid the owner of the field and apologized, but Adolph, who came to retrieve it, was definitely annoyed. I'm sure you're really hungry now. I felt bad, but it certainly seemed like a humorous bit of trouble to be in. I'm sure you're tired from your day out. I have some tea and snacks ready, but would you like to have some with me?
いいの？ありがとう。街中を走り回ったから喉がカラカラだったんだ。
Really? Thanks. I'm really parched from running all over town. Oh, you. After washing his hands, Eves happily sat at a chair. I poured out some tea for him and myself in the cups I had prepared and brought them out to him with the snacks.
ありがとう。早速いただきます。
Thanks, I'll dig right in then. Eve smiled happily and took a sip of his tea.
おいしい。君が入れてくれる紅茶はいつもおいしいね。
That's great. The tea you make is always so good. That's not true. It's just that the tea sold at the marché is just of really nice quality.
そうかな。俺が入れる時とはかなり味が違うと思うけど。
You sure? It tastes pretty different when I make it. While enjoying the taste of the tea, Eves continued to reach out for some snacks and stuff them in his mouth.
至れり尽くせりだ。仕事終わりの甘いものって本当に美味しく感じるよね。
This is great. Having sweets at the end of a hard day's work really makes them taste so good. I understand. I bake sweets sometimes and have them with mother too.
君の手作りお菓子か。きっと優しい味なんだろうな。俺もいつか食べてみたい。
Leah's homemade sweets, huh? I just know they're great. I'm sure would love to try them someday. Eve's continue to look at me. I just can't win against Eve's when he looks like that. The young and pure look on his face made me concede right away. All right, if it's all right with you, I'll bring some of what I make to you.
やった。
All right. He smiled so
君に
happily.
は普段から身の回りの家事も手伝ってもらってるし、俺も何かお礼を用意しておくよ。
You're always helping me with chores around here, so I'll get something for you too. You don't need to do that. You're always taking such good care of me. And you're letting me look over your documents. I glanced over at the documents of request I had stacked to the
そっ
side.
か。今日も確認してたんだ。何か気になる情報は見つかった？
You were looking through them? Was there anything that caught your eye? Nothing yet, but even if I weren't looking for something in particular, it really helps reading through them. There sure are a lot of things Karun does. I was certainly surprised at the request to find a small hair ornament that was lost in the forest.
それ懐かしいな。森がかなり広かったのもあって、なかなか見つからなかったんだよ。
Oh, that takes me back. The forest was pretty big, so I had trouble finding it.
最終的には
Poppy,
ぬかるん
hi!
だ地面で転んだヒューゴが偶然見つけてくれたんだけど、
In the end, Hugo slipped on some muddy ground and just happened to come across it. That's lucky. I wonder what the odds of finding it were.
今度シアンさんに計算してもらおうか。
Maybe I'll have Shing calculate that out next time I see him. I'm sure he would love that. After cleaning up our snacks, he pulled the documents towards himself.
なくし物の捜索といえば、こっちもそうだったかな。
Speaking of finding lost items, there's this one
大事
too.
な仕事道具をなくしたから探してくれっていう依頼だったんだけど、
It was a request to find an important tool for someone's
街
job.
中を探しても見つからなくて、いざ新しいものを買おうとした時に棚の裏から出てきたんだ。
Thank you, Poppy. I looked everywhere around town, but I couldn't find it. Just as they were about to buy a new one, it appeared behind a shelf. I feel like that happened to me too.
だよね。俺もたまにやる。依頼人からは何度も謝られちゃったよ。
Oh my gosh, it's perfectly hiding behind my bottle of water. I was like, I had lotion for like my hands are feeling dry. Anything for you. Aw, thank you. See, you need to start playing Fortnite with Stephanie. That'd be fun. That's her current game obsession. Right. I do it myself sometimes too. The requester apologized to me so many times. Aww. How many of these has she read though? She should have found some of these stories, right?
ああ、こっちの女の子の依頼もよく覚えてる。高いところから降りられなくなった猫を助けてほしいって依頼だったんだけど。
I remember this girl request. It was a request to help her cat that got up too high and couldn't get back down.
助けた後、人見知りする猫だったのか、すごい噛まれちゃって。
But it must have been shy because once I reached it, it bit me so hard. I thought he said
手
animals
が
don't
血
like
だら
them.
けの俺を見て、女の子が悲鳴を上げちゃったんだ。
And the girl screamed after seeing my hand covered in blood. I think I'd be worried too. I don't know how hard that cat bit you. I was amazed. It was a request from such a long time ago, but he remembered it with such clarity. I guess there are a lot of requests that can be quite
そう
troublesome.
だね。でも嫌だと思ったことは一度もないよ。
Yeah, but I've never hated taking any of them on, not even once.
無事にこなした後、依頼人がすごく嬉しそうな顔で、ありがとうって言ってくれるのが、
After completing them, seeing the requesters' happy faces and hearing them say thank
俺
you
たちにとって最高の報酬なんだ。
has to be the best reward I can get. I can understand that feeling now that I'm working alongside you. I was given so much strength by everyone who expressed their gratitude to me. These documents aren't just records, they're also parts of your memories. Aren't they?
これからは 君にとってもになるよ。
They'll be a part of yours soon, too. That'd be nice. The records I looked through were all such peaceful requests. They're proof of how much Eve loves everyone so earnestly. Eve, would you mind telling me more about your memories of these requests?
もちろん君に話したいことがまだまだたくさんあるんだ。
Of course, there's still so much I want to tell you.
その代わり君の楽しい思い出も教えてくれると嬉しいななんて。
But in return, I would sure be happy if you would share some of your happy memories with me. I wanted to take my time and read these, even if they weren't looking for Burrow. I want to know about the path that Eve's traveled. Just like Eve said, he wanted to learn about me. Okay, I was like, I thought this one had a picture, but I guess it's not over yet. After that, the day grew late and I continued to talk to Leah.
もうこんな時間か。話し込んでるとあっと
There
いう間
might
だ
not be a
な。
picture. I swore there was one photo on this page and we haven't seen it yet. It's so late, time sure flies when you're having such a nice conversation. I was about to ask if she wanted to head back when another person came in with a request. About 30 minutes must have passed as I listened to what they needed, and the day grew even darker. It'd be best not to let Leah go home alone at this rate. So you have to walk me home, nice. Or
お待たせ。帰るなら俺が施設まで送。
she's asleep. She's asleep, isn't she? Sorry to make you wait, Leah. If you need to go back to the orphanage, I'll take you. Before I could finish, I quickly shut my mouth, seeing her sleeping over at the table. I wasn't outside for that
こんな
long.
すぐ眠り込んじゃうなんて。
She fell asleep so
俺
quickly.
が戻ってくるまでの間、一生懸命資料を読み込んでたのかな。
She must have been studying the records hard while I was out. I closed the records that were open beside her and put them away. I made a little bit of noise, but she still didn't wake up.
毎日俺たちと一緒に頑張ってくれてるもんね。
She's always working hard amongst the rest of us. I thought about waking her, but decided not to instead. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the photo I've been waiting for.
お疲れ様。毎日ありがとう。
You must be tired, Leah. Thank you for all the help every day. I took off my coat and draped it over her narrow back. Although she stirred a bit from her skin being brushed against, she didn't seem to wake up. Don't make this girl sleep at a desk. The peaceful look on her face as she slept was so cute. She really was cute.
今ならアドルフの気持ちがわかるかも。こんなに可愛い妹がいたら、何があっても守りたくなるよね。
I can understand what Adolf feels now. You can't help but protect such an adorable little sister.
俺は多分、この子のことを妹だとは思ってない。
It's awkward coming from you, my guy. I don't think I see Leah as a little
もっ
sister.
と仲良くなりたい女性だと思ってる。
I think of her as a woman I want to get to know better. There I was, though I was sure I'd be causing her trouble if I told her that directly. Eve. I was startled that she said my name. I thought I had woken her, but that didn't seem to be the case. A gentle smile spread across her face as she remained sleeping. I can make more precious memories with you. I'll work hard. She mumbled with such a happy look on her face.
可愛い。
She's
やっ
just
ぱり
cute.
すっごく可愛いよ。
You really are so cute. I repeated the thought over and over. She was here with me, sleeping after working diligently, spending a busy and noisy life with me.
こんなにも可愛い寝顔を浮かべられる彼女が、
A girl who can sleep with a face so
人の
adorable.
不幸を願う死神であるわけがない。
There's no way she could be death, the bringer of misfortune. Two things can be true.
どこにでもいる普通の女の子。
She's just an
Yeah.
ordinary girl. No, she was more than
誰
that.
よりも優しくて可愛い。素敵な女の子だよ。
Oh, this guy's got a crush on her. She's a wonderful girl, kinder and more adorable than anyone. I prayed that the night she would sleep in peace would continue on forever.
守っていきたい。
I want to protect you. Her, not you. You're in danger. All right. So. Yeah, why not? We'll do this one. It's probably gonna be the last one, just because it's almost 12. The heroine is helping Lucas as a teacher's aide. One day after playing tag at the orphanage, she falls and twists her ankle. I recall that was one of the cute CGs. Although I did play with the children at the orphanage.
よかったら私の教師の仕事をしばらく手伝ってみませんか?
Sorry, I just realized I didn't put the time. I started. I'm just guessing now. Leah, might I suggest that you assist me with my work as a teacher's aide? Oh yeah, that happened. I remember. Before helping with Lucas's work, I hadn't played with them in this way that left me so tired. I knew I needed to have more strength if I were to play with energetic kids all day. But right as I had thought that, a sharp pain ran through my ankle.
どうしました?
What's wrong, Leah? Lucas turned back to me as I stood in place. I'm sorry, my ankle started hurting.
足首? 少し見てみましょうか?
Your ankle? May I take a look? Yes, I don't think it's anything serious. I sat on a nearby bench. I was about to run my fingers over my ankle to see how it felt.
失礼します.
Please excuse me. But before I could, Lucas knelt down and gently touched my ankle.
おとなしくいい子にしていてください。怪我をしていたら大変です。
Please be a girl and stay still for a moment. It would be terrible if you were very injured. Lucas' slender finger gently brushed against my ankle. Every time they did, a heat spread across every spot he touched. Why do I feel so nervous? Because he looks like this. Like, if this was a real person, I couldn't make eye contact. I felt a bit ashamed as Lucas was simply worried and trying to help me, and here I was, thirsting for him.
少し熱がありますね。もしや足首をひねってしまったのでは?
It feels a bit warm. Could it be a sprain? Huh? The heat was from my wasn't from my emotions, but just a symptom of my injury. Oh god. Could it be from that time I tripped in the grass and landed on Lucas?
いたった。うまく支えきれず申し訳ありません。お怪我は?
We don't do flashbacks even if it's from 2 years ago. Was it from when I tripped while chasing after the children yesterday? The onset of pain might have been delayed. Like my neck. Oh, my neck. Okay. Oh, I forgot. So I was going to stream last night. Because Tuesday, I went to a concert. And then Wednesday, I was like, I'll stream. It's a metal concert. And so I did a lot of headbanging. So my neck hurt. It still hurts if I do this. In fact, there was a girl, like, definitely a child. It's crazy to me that, okay, I went to see Wednesday 13. He's a older, I don't know if I'd call it metal. I really don't know what you'd call it. Artist. But, like, I've been listening to him since I was, like, 13, 14. And there's 13 and 14-year-olds at this concert. And I'm like, you're babies. Get out. But, like, I would never. But at the same time, this little girl who was definitely a teenager was beside us. She headbanged so hard, she fell. And so her mom, like, made her leave. It was kind of cute, but, like, I felt so bad for her. Because we weren't going to stay the whole time. He had, like, 4 openers, if I recall correctly. And he didn't even go on until, like, 9:30. And I was like, I gotta be at work tomorrow. Crazy early. I don't have time for that. Rock and roll. Would you call it rock and roll? Do you listen to Wednesday 13? Are you familiar? I mean, it's definitely rock. But yeah, everyone was headbanging. Oh, and then a guy, like, shoved a bunch of people. We think he got thrown out afterwards, but he like literally pushed so many people. Roll on the floor. Yeah. That's pretty much exactly what we do. Yeah. So we all got knocked over. So I don't know if this is from being pushed or from headbanging or what, but it hurts on this side only. And yesterday it was pretty bad. We're like, I didn't want to sit for too long because it was hurting. I also thought I was going to have a bruise on my leg because my leg was hurting, but she seems fine today. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Also, hi, Bass. Lucas must have come to the same conclusion as he stood with a troubled look on his face. I'm so scared as I hit this desk that I'm going to knock this thing.
申し訳ありません。私が君を受け止めきれなかったせいですね。
Lucas, this is not your fault, okay? I'm a clumsy girl. It's a trait of not like other girls, okay? Forgive me, it was because I didn't catch you properly. No, that's not true. I got away with just a sprained ankle because you caught me. I think I'll have to take my time walking with this pain. Please, go ahead and head home at first, Lucas.
そういうわけにはいきません。
That will absolutely not do.
大切な
Imagine.
教え子、もとい、怪我をした女性を置いていくなんて。
To leave not only a precious student of mine behind, but an injured woman at
神では
that.
なく、自分自身が決して許さない。
It's something I could never forgive myself for. But if you were to walk with me, you would be home considerably late.
大丈夫ですよ。今日はもう予定は入っていませんから。
It's still such a shame. He's such a well-designed character. That's quite alright. I don't have any other business
痛みが
elsewhere.
引くまで、ここでのんびりと過ごしましょうか。
How about we take our time until your pain recedes? Lucas smiled gently as he sat next to me. Lucas, thank you.
お礼は不要です。他でもない私自身が君と過ごしたかったのですから。
You have no idea. Need to thank me. I wanted to spend time with you.
怪我をしたばかりの君にこんな質問をするのもどうかと思いますが。
I know it might be an inappropriate time to ask you since you were just recently injured.
私の仕事の手伝いは楽しいですか？
Do you like helping me with my work? Yes, absolutely. I didn't hesitate to nod my head in response to Lucas's question. Not only am I able to help the children with their studies, I feel like I'm learning so much from them too.
それならよかった。
That's great to hear. It's
素
true.
直に感情を出すこと。周囲の意見に流されず自分の考えを持つこと。
To present your feelings with honesty, to not be swept up by the pace of those around you and have your own way of
そういった
thinking.
点において子供たちには見習う点がたくさんあります。
There are several things, such as those, that we can learn from children. Lucas's eyes narrowed as he happily thought back on the other lessons he taught.
私も子供たちの無邪気さに心を救われることが何度もありましたよ。
There's been so many times I've been saved by children's innocence as
Muro.
well.
勉強を教えていた頃の君にも。
Of course, by when you were my student. Well, at this point, he was just being overly nice. I mean, back then I was so afraid of interacting with anyone else. I even avoided you, Lucas. I'm sure I wasn't exactly a great
で
student.
も君は私の授業をいつも真面目に楽しそうに聞いてくれていたでしょ？
But you always listened eagerly to my lessons since you enjoyed them, right? How did he know? The very few times I attended Lucas's lessons, he remembered them without hesitation. How? There must have been so many others who were good students that left a stronger impression.
たとえ言葉は少なくとも表情を見れば
Even if you don't
わかります。
speak much, I could tell by your
君
expression
はリュカ・プルーストの授業を
that you
心から楽しんでいてくれた。
Shh, Lucas. That you truly enjoyed the lessons of Lucas
言われな
Press.
き誹謗に
Proust.
ずっと傷ついてきた君の笑顔のもとに
To
わず
have,
かにでも慣れたことが
to have been able to make you smile, contribution to the smile once. Oh gosh. Hang on. I read everything wrong just then. To have been able to make one small contribution to the smile of a child that had been hurt by so much slander Contribution. I knew what the
私
word
にとっ
was.
て
I
も
just could not say it.
救いだったのです。
That has saved me in so many ways. Lucas, he remembered. That thought I always had in my head hung down. It was only during Lucas's lessons that I lifted my head up to learn from him. Just now. Just how much of a kind person could this man be? Do you want to ask him how he thinks about your mom? He was so kind that I started to feel worried. But the me from the past that Lucas remembered and the me in the present are different, at least I hoped. Because right now I was able to look right back up at Lucas sitting right next to me. I know it's a bit late to say this, but I truly enjoyed learning about so many new things from your lessons. I was now able to face him and tell him directly how I felt. Thank you so much for teaching me the joys of learning. I'll be able to give the children the same sort of joy
なれま
too.
すよ。君なら。
You can. I'm sure you'll be able to. Even though he had no proof at all, Lucas declared his beliefs as if it were the truth.
私は
It was slurry.
理不尽な目に遭いながらも決して他者を責めなかった君のことを心から尊敬しています。
I truly respect you for never blaming others even though you faced unreasonable circumstances.
だからこれからも多くのものを教え、
That is why I
多くの
hope you
こと
will
を学び、
strive to teach and learn so much
その
more.
優しさをより強く育んでいってください。
And grow stronger with the kindness of
私もお
yours.
手伝いしますから。
I will aid you on your way as well. I will. Without denying my past, he believed in my growth for the future. I was so happy about his feelings. I felt deeply that I could depend on him and wanted to become someone who Lucas won't be ashamed to stand beside. I was going to say, this was called something something. His heartbeat against her heartbeat against his back. We're not done. We continued to talk for a while as the sun continued to move towards one side of the sky.
だいぶ時間が経ちましたね。
We spent a bit of time
足の
here.
調子はいかがですか？
How's your ankle feeling? Let me try standing up. Taking Lucas's hand, I tried to stand. I was sure I would be fine by now after resting for so long, but it wasn't as bad as before, but the pain was sharp enough to make me wince.
無理をして歩いたら悪化するかもしれませんね。
It may get worse if you force yourself to walk on it. Then I'll just take my time heading home, so Lucas began to speak before I could finish.
ではここはこうしましょう。
Let us do this then. Lucas walked out in front of me and then turned his back to me and crouched down. Lucas. I tilted my head, not sure what he was intending. Watching me as I did, Lucas chuckled with a smile.
施設まで私が背負います。着いたらサロメさんにしっかり手当てをしてもらいましょう。
I'll carry you to the orphanage. Once you're there, be sure that Salome takes care of you. Huh? This suggestion was something I couldn't have expected. I can't possibly trouble you that much.
気にしないでください。
Please don't worry about it.
確かに私は非力な男ですが、君を背負うぐらいの力はあるつもりです。
He's a liar. I may not be too strong, but I'm strong enough to carry you
それ
home.
に施設の子供たちは
They
明
are
日も君が
not.
来るのを楽しみに待っているのですから。
Oh, the other orphanage, yeah. The children at the orphanage are looking forward to
怪我
seeing you
が悪化して
tomorrow.
休んだらきっと悲しい顔をすると思います。
I'm sure they would be saddened if you had to take some time off because your injury worsened. Ugh.
それとも私に身を任せるのは
Is
そ
it
んなに不安ですか？
you feel uneasy about my taking care of you? No! I couldn't possibly refuse if he asked me with such a sad look on his face. The thoughts of feeling sorry for making him do this for me flashed through my mind over and over, but it would be rude instead to reject his offer after being so nice. All right, may I ask you to carry me then? Let me down right away if I'm too
え
heavy.
え、お任せください。
Yes, leave it to me. I made my decision. And as Lucas's expression quickly returned, I leaned my body against his
しっかり
back.
捕まりましたか？大丈夫なら立ち上がりますよ。
Are you holding on tight? If so, I'll stand up. Yes. After hearing my answer, back to him, Lucas slowly stood up. There's one of those posters, pictures that they showed.
よいしょっと。
He's faking it. There we go. Are you sure I'm not heavy?
ええ、大丈夫ですので、お気になさらず。
I'm quite alright, don't worry. He didn't seem to be lying, as my body didn't even waver under
むしろ
my weight.
軽すぎて少々心配なぐらいです。
You're actually so light it makes me worry.
毎日食事をしっかりととっていますか？
Are you sure you're eating properly every day? Yes, I believe
なる
so.
ほど。では、体質的な問題でしょうか。
I suppose this is simply just how your body
と
is.
少々配慮に欠ける話でしたね。このまま歩き出しても。
Oh dear, this sort of talk is a bit rude coming from me. Is it alright if I start walking? Yes, thank you for this. Lucas began to walk forward, careful about carrying me.
これぐらいの速度なら問題ないでしょうか。
This speed should be
揺れ
fine.
で足が痛んだらすぐに行ってくださいね。
Tell me right away if your ankle hurts from shaking, alright? Okay, I grabbed on tight to his shoulders so I wouldn't cause him any trouble by falling. His beautiful back, which looked almost feminine at times, looks so broad. It was very convincing that he was able to support and carry me. We were already so close that I hadn't really noticed it before, but Lucas really is a strong, dependable man on top of being my teacher. And a murderer. My hand squeezed his shoulders, shaking in nervousness.
どうかしましたか？
Leah, is something the matter? Nothing, it's just. I haven't been carried like this since I was little. It's been so long. I guess I'm just a little nervous.
そうですね。人は大人になるにつれ
That's true. As you
甘え
get
る機会
older,
を徐々に失っていきますから。
the chances that you'll get to be carried for like this becomes fewer and fewer.
ですが
Cared, not carried.
今は子供に戻ったと思って存分に私を頼りにしてください。
Please just imagine yourself as a child again and leave everything to me.
頼りない教師ですが、君を家に送り届けるぐらいのことはできますから。
I may not be very dependable, but I can at least get you back home. Alright, I couldn't go back to being a child. My heart was racing so fast, feeling Lucas's warmth and voice. With a gentle thud, I leaned my head against Lucas's back, trying to ignore how embarrassed I felt. Lucas continued to walk forward, hardly swaying at all, as if caring for a small child, but then he suddenly looked up at the beautiful sky.
君と
I
君
wish
と過ごすこの穏やかな時間が
this peaceful time I spend with
続
you
けばいいのに
could continue on.
なんて私もつい甘えたくなってしまいます。
I suppose I just want to be comforted for myself sometimes. I mean, he had a rough set of cards dealt to him. The tone of his voice felt somewhat lonely, and as we were enveloped in the light of the setting sun, as red as the color of my own cheeks, his words disappeared into the air. Interesting. And then we did this one already. This is Mathis, so we're not going to do that one. And that means there's 4 more on this page, which each one of these should have a picture. It's like an alternate story in the middle of those stories. Then we have this whole page, which this one's a question mark and I can't click on it yet. And this one's a question mark and I can't click on it yet. So there's a couple. Oh, these all have pictures. Oh, wow. Okay, so these all, everything going forward is going to have a photo in it. That's interesting. Hang on, let me make a note. That should have been the last photo for Lucas. 11 of 11. 11 of 11, so his last one as well. So we already got Mathis. So that's gonna be Sheen's last one. We haven't done his story at all, so we're missing everyone. Haven't done his story, we're missing all of them. These are the ones that are gonna have collections in it, and I don't know if there's going to be a Wanderer thing or if Wanderer is just gonna pop up in here. I mean, it has 2 pages. There's a chance. But yeah, we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. We're gonna start Adolf's story on Saturday. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow night. I'm not planning on it, but because I'm off on Saturday, there's like a tiny chance I might just find some time to do it. There's also stuff I have to prepare for, so there might not be one tomorrow. I'm not gonna raid anybody tonight because I'm sleepy and I don't feel like it, but I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you, Poppy. Thank you, Baz. I appreciate you guys spending time with me. If you're watching this on YouTube, please remember I stream about 3 times a week. On Twitch, you want to stop in over there and say hi. And if you're here on Twitch, you can visit me on YouTube if you want to watch the old VODs. I upload everything onto there. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great night.